So Puzan lapho bro.
I am Soju. We ask, like, what kind of question is this?
No, I'm asking.
Would you go to Jameson and ask them, Wuti, what do you make here? Would you go to Bell's and ask them, what do they make? Would you go to Heineken and ask them, yo, do you make gin? I am Soju, bro.
Instead of acting smart, what are you drinking?
What's Soju?
Alright.
What's Soju?
So, what plans do you have for the island? I mean, what does the island hold in terms of the future and everything?
This is a heavy question. So, if you're wondering, no, I did not have a wardrobe change. This is day 2 of this little interaction that I'm having with you guys. So please, I hope that you still have your drinks. I know I do, and we are continuing with this sit-down story time. We had to stop yesterday because the weather got bad. But the question is, what was the question?
So the question is, what do we have planned for the future? You know, in terms of being on the island, what do you have planned?
What do I have planned?
In terms of being on the island.
On the island. This is a very good question. So where am I planning on going with this? So you've seen from my contemporaries, everybody says come here, and then when you get here, you might not know what to do, you know, and this is not something that someone can tell you, you know, because we all have different plans, we all have different goals, different dreams, different problems back home that we need to sort out, you know. So no one can essentially tell you what to do. They can only tell you, if you want to get here, here's how you get here, here's how I did it, you know. And there are other YouTubers out here that have done a better job at explaining how to get here. From the vagabonds, I'll tell you one thing, we will never ever tell you how to get to South Korea. We have our friends that we've gotten close to. Shout out to Palesa Jonas, shout out to Buhle Mbola, who are the chief most at those are the videos that we used, information to get like Korea. So we're not going to tell you about that. We will always refer you to those 2 people. But my plans, if I can save as much money as I can, and if I can maintain the lifestyle that I'm living here back in South Africa, I would have won. Now, I can go into detail into what I mean by that, you know. What is it that you're actually trying to execute and blah, blah, blah. So my plan, honestly speaking, so many of you might not know this, I'm actually studying right now. I'm doing my postgraduate studies. I'm studying through UNISA. I'm finishing off my LLB through UNISA. So much of my time through the partying and Soju and all of the things, actually I carve out a significant amount of time for myself, by myself, and it's just me and my books. And I'm studying there. And I'm very, very passionate about the law and all the things. So by the time I leave South Korea permanently, I would have loved to have finished my LLB. So yeah, and then eradicate as much debt as I have and save as much money as I can.
So how long do you intend on being in this country? That's
a very deeply personal question.
Okay.
For reasons that for the first time I can't tell you here.
You can't tell us here.
I can't tell you here why.
Let's see why.
But there is a time limit for me being here. I will say this time next year, there's a good chance that the vagabonds will not be in South Korea. We might be in another country, probably doing the same thing, but probably not in South Korea. We can't go into the reasons why, but we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
So what plans do you have for back home? I mean, we all know you can't just come to this country, come here, fuck shit up, and then go home.
Yobu malume uhlele bedroom uqeda upholoni mengane
wesikole
bra hayi buyo gathi ingane
so
hayi upholoni mengane yo dog I can't
so
be that
what
guy.
plans do you have for, you know, when you go back home?
Honestly speaking, so like I said, I have a deep and abiding passion for the law and most importantly, justice. And more important than that, other than passion, I actually put money where my mouth is, and I'm like, I'm going to study this thing and I'm going to execute. So before I came to South Korea, I mean, I was studying at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Shout out to Howard College. And I did my Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Law. And during the midst of that, I also had the wonderful opportunity to work at a law clinic downtown in Durban Central, you know. And even that was a gig that one of my classmates put me to. She's like, you know what, Spare, I think you'd be really good for this space. So this law clinic, basically, in a nutshell, they just provided legal services to people in the townships, mostly Mlazi naseNtuzuma. Legal services to people that couldn't afford them. Mlazi, Ntuzuma, Chatsworth, and I'm forgetting one other place. You know, free legal services to these people. And it opened up my mind to the realities of the society in which we live, what justice is, what it's not, you know, for people that can or cannot afford it, you know. People have, you know, they're trying to seek out recourse for the wrongs that were done against them, but they can't simply because they just don't have the money, you know. And so that's where we came in. So we were not a law firm, but we were basically a medium between the clients and law firms, essentially. And so I got to see a lot, and I got to see the struggles that ordinary South Africans go through. And when they're trying to have access to justice and the law, and the beautiful constitution which we have, which is shiny on paper and it's brilliant and it's beautiful, but it means absolutely nothing if you can't apply those things to the ordinary South African. And so I got to be exposed to that before I came here to South Korea, whilst I was studying. And so this is something that I would want to continue when I go back to the Republic. This, what I'm doing here, means to an end. Have always been open about that, honest, unashamed, not shy about that. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I know, unless you have specific questions, I can go into further detail.
Just one last question.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, what advice would you give to someone that's coming here? Super quick.
Super quick.
Few words, because we know you drag things out.
You know what, Buffet? People come here and they act fresh. They forget where they come from. So if you come from a family where black tax is expected of you, do it in a healthy way. So if you know that I have responsibilities back home that I must take care of, do that. Do not try, because there are other people that you're gonna come across here that don't have those same responsibilities. You try to keep up with them. You'll earn the same tax bracket. You wanna have the same hibiri fun, but this person, they don't have the responsibilities that you got back home. So remember that if you're that person. If you're here for a good time, nice time, shabla. If you're here to save money, it's like, I have a brilliant business idea that I have back home. I just need capital. Come here, make your paper, and go all out.
Yeah, I also know that you bought a house. People have seen you posting about your house, and I feel like that's what most people would actually like. Would say, okay, this
motherfucker bought a house.
He's not even been here for 2 years, you know, and
Yeah.
he already bought a house. So how did you do it? How? Kanjan.
Yeah. I bought a fucking house, bro. I bought a house. Namuna.
Take it all in. Take it all in.
Try not to be emotional.
Take it all in. Take it all in.
Yeah.
Take it in. Take it all in.
Wait,
Take it all
wait.
in. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I bought a house, and when it was happening, when I was going through the process, it honestly felt like a poop. I could not believe that this was me doing what I was doing, and it just felt unreal, an out of body experience. So, is it possible to do something like that? Absolutely, it is. And it honestly it deserves a separate video where I explain in detail. Again, this is how I did it. I don't know if it will work for you. So I'll tell you everything that I did, and then that's the information, that I have. But yes, I bought a house. The motivations behind that are very deep and very personal. And honestly speaking, actually was not something that I had in mind. But when I got here, I realized, boy, now there's a gap. And for the first time, and perhaps the last time, because I don't know what the future holds, you have an opportunity to fill this gap, fill it now. And so I did it. So I'll always be thankful for South Korea. My children and their children after them will know, they will always know to thank South Korea, the house that they grew up in or that their parents grew up in, is because of this country, and I will always be grateful for that. So yes, it is possible. You can do something as big and outlandish and crazy as that, as buying property out here. It's possible. I'm certainly not the first person to do that. There are many others that have done that. And again, speaks to what I was talking about before, which is what's your plans, what's your goals, what's your dreams. And I did it. And I feel good.
Big ups.
Thank you.
Big ups.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave it there because it really is. It's a long story, and it deserves its own video. So yeah, I think that's everything I think that's enough for today, or for these 2 days that we've been recording. Thank you so much for listening to all of this. Thank you for hanging on with us. There's been a lot that's been going on with the Vagabonds. I've been moving to a different place. The other two Vagabonds have been going through their own things that they need to go through. So this is primarily the reason why we haven't posted as often as we would have liked to. But we're hoping that that's going to change now. So yeah, we love you, we miss you, we thank you for sticking with us, even though we've been a little bit inconsistent, and we apologize for that. But the Vagabonds are here, and we're not going anywhere. So yeah, peace out. This is I Am Soju, and we'll see you next time. Away.